Hello and welcome to coverage of custom standard casual matches. This is Caillou, and today we're going to be watching a match between Matt and FrogMaker. Both of them are starting off with turn 1 black lands. Matt plays Venomous Bandit turn 1. Matt was talking about having a MonoBlack aggressive list earlier, which leverages stuff like Sick Nick as a card advantage engine, while having a bunch of cheap aggressive 1 or 2 drops to just quickly kill the opponent. So gonna tap out for Breaker of Cities after swinging out with the Venomous Bandit. FrogMaker played Eerie Bayou and passed, Rootbound Crag, Dead Pits Hawker. So maybe FrogMaker is on the same Jund Aristocrats build that he played recently. Okay, Matt has the out of date. It's just going to kill the Dead Pits Hawker. Doesn't want to mess with that. Doesn't want to let FrogMaker untap with it. And then pay 1 for the Enteraki Hunter. Gets to crew the Breaker of Seas with Enteraki Hunter. Swings out for 5. Creates a soldier. And oof, yeah. FrogMaker's deck is definitely supposed to be aggressive in nature. But its mana base is so slow that I don't know how it can keep up with this. Woopip Bruiser does help. It's going to kill probably Venomous Bandit right here. No, the Enteraki Hunter. Interesting. And then, depending on what Matt does, probably double block the Breaker of Cities, which is going to be crewed by the Soldier, I assume. And then Venomous Bandit will attack in unharmed, probably. Only attacking with the Breaker of Cities. Interesting. And FrogMaker didn't block it. Huh, interesting. I wonder what FrogMaker has in hand that can deal with this board. Main 2, Nameless Throng coming from Matt. This is just such a huge board, and it's reasonably recursive too, because Breaker Cities just keeps making it larger. Nameless Throng can come back if Breaker Cities dies, basically. So tapping 5 for Woopip Wanderer. So this is pretty strong at controlling the board, but it only trades with Nameless Throng and Breaker Cities. So Matt can really just crew Breaker of Cities, attack with Nameless Throng and Breaker of Cities, and then FrogMaker is just kind of in a bad place. And yep, those 2 petals mean that if FrogMaker gets to untap next turn, FrogMaker will be able to germinate twice. Which, and this matchup is pretty strong because FrogMaker can just load up the Woopip Wanderer, and then Matt's only real way of killing it is to Despair Venomous Bandit. Could just attack it and Despair Venomous Bandit next turn, though. That does make sense. I think this turn, though, probably, crew Breaker Cities and attack in with both the Nameless Throng and Breaker Cities. Okay, so FrogMaker is going to double block Breaker Cities, killing it, and then go to Bog Rebirth the Woopip Bruiser. That's really strong because then now FrogMaker can create another Saproling and then kill something by draining it for 3. Nameless Throng is the highest powered creature, but since Breaker Cities is in the grave, Nameless Throng would be able to come back. So yeah, FrogMaker is just going to kill the Enteraki Hunter. Main 2, this is the last card in Matt's hand. What could it be? Eli. Man, Eli is such a house. So just going to create a bullet. And Eli is weird in such an aggressive list, but the reality is it creates lots of bodies to protect him. And it's a good way to get past opposing blockers once you get to this cluttered of a board state. Now, on FrogMaker's side, Woopip Wanderer lets him basically make 2 more Saprolings here, or just have Woopip Wanderer grow to a 4/4. If FrogMaker doesn't have anything else in hand, really can just keep the mana up to keep Matt guessing, because Frog is on the back foot, and being able to generate blockers at instant speed or improve his creatures at instant speed is good. Oh, the problem is, Eli is scary because next turn the bullet untaps and can just exile something. So Frog can pay half of his life to flip Hakbora, becomes a 6/6,
then attacks with everything. No, even if attacks with everything at Eli, then Frog dies on the clapback. So I don't. Instead, is going to tap 4, play Sin Caller from his hand. That's definitely a strong card. And it'll definitely mitigate the life loss from, or not life loss, but like card disadvantage. Ooh, gonna Bokor's Recruitment on Sin Caller. Huh. That's an interesting play, I guess, to like protect it and then bring it back. I feel like though the best use of that is to steal an opponent's creature, especially because Sin Caller naturally has Hollow. Anyways, so going to be attacking with a single Saproling at Eli. I think Matt just feels pretty comfortable taking that because he can still -2 next turn. Oh, but no. What was? I thought that maybe FrogMaker had was gonna germinate like on damage to be able to exile to put Eli down to 2 loyalty, so that if Eli -2s, it would kill him. And then, but FrogMaker didn't. And then now, Matt is +1ing Eli instead of just -2ing and exiling the Sin Caller, which would like 3-for-1 FrogMaker. So plays Initiative. That's the last card in his hand. Meanwhile, FrogMaker has 2 more. So FrogMaker, what is FrogMaker going to swing with? Just like another Saproling at Eli? Like, the Saproling just gets eaten by Initiative, dude. I guess that's Frog's plan. Okay, so Matt doesn't block. I guess Frog wanted the Saproling to die so that he could draw a card off Sin Caller. Main 2, gonna Whoopip Decomposition the Saproling. Draws a card, and he basically draws 3 cards off of this and gains 2 life. How's that for a hand refill? But Frog like needs something to like leverage this board. And does Deathpit Soccer even do it? Because I feel like Deathpit Soccer is like 1 damage to an opponent. Is it? If it's any target, then can start machine gunning down Matt's board. But that's like the only card I can think of. Okay, gonna tap 3 for Lautrec. Matt doesn't have any cards in hand, so it's really just gonna be a 4/3, ignoring the Despair. And Matt conceded? I don't. Maybe there's something I was missing there, because Matt was like very much up in life. I think had a reasonable sized board, and could just like wait for a shields down moment from FrogMaker. Maybe the thought was that like Sin Caller plus Whoopip Wanderer was just like too much of a board advantage generator for Matt's deck to fight through. Anyway, so we're going into game 2. So Matt is just gonna swamp turn 1 Enteraki Hunter. On FrogMaker's side, just gonna Fangmark Cave, definitely looking like a repeat of the previous game. Meanwhile, gonna attack with Enteraki Hunter. Plays Initiative. This is definitely like a solid start, and if FrogMaker stumbles here, Matt could just go for the throat. Meanwhile, FrogMaker tapping 2 for Razorvine Abomination, which is usually pretty good, but I think, again, like FrogMaker's deck is pretty slow, so it needs a way to be able to essentially leverage strong mid-range cards like Whoopip Wanderer to be able to gain back board advantage after Matt just basically just dumps his hand. Ooh, and plays a Nameless Throng. Yeah, Matt's board is looking pretty huge right now, but FrogMaker is going to tap out for that Deathpit Soccer. Matt is just like, I'm going to continue to be the aggressor. Is going to swing out for 5. And Enteraki Hunter, while it might seem useless as a 1/1 for 1, while Matt is constantly pressuring FrogMaker's life total, it eventually turns into a win con. So FrogMaker is going to trade with an Ishtu using the Death Pit Soccer. Matt is still up on board though. And main 2 plays a Breaker of Cities. No, actually, yeah, because Breaker of Cities doesn't have haste. That makes sense. Death Pit Soccer dying does make Razorvine Abomination a 3/3 though. And with that, can kill either Breaker of Cities or Nameless Throng. Tapping 4 for Whoopip Bruiser. Yup. Probably gonna turn up Razorvine Abomination. No, just gonna make a Sapperling as a blocker to be able to kill all of like Matt's X1s. Duh. Uses a Whoopip Bruiser to kill the Nameless Throng. And I think can pretty comfortably swing in. No, doesn't want to swing in with Razorvine Abomination. I guess holding it up as a blocker for Breaker of Cities. But I think letting Breaker of Cities... I guess actually that makes sense. Because even though Matt gets Nameless Throng back, it isn't anything compared to the endless flow of tokens that Breaker of Cities creates. Ooh, and a Phantom Walker into another Entourage Hunter. So yeah, Phantom Walker, there's an Ishtu as a target for it. And then Matt probably wants to keep Nameless Throng in grave. So FrogMaker is going to Bokor's Recruitment the Whoopip Bruiser. Probably so that as like a rattlesnake to make sure that Matt doesn't block with one of these Entourage Hunters. So Matt is going to tap out for Eli. I think probably exiling one of these 2 boys next turn. And can crew Phantom Walker and Breaker of Cities to block if FrogMaker gets aggressive on Eli. We know FrogMaker does have Arcologize, so Arcologize on Eli would just be the nut here, because it saves FrogMaker having to spend a turn on it. Okay, so FrogMaker is just moving to combat, swinging out with both. Oh, all 3 at Eli. Okay, here we go. Matt could crew Phantom Walker, kill Razorvine, but then in response, this is like, there's definitely like a lot of factors going on here. So Matt is going to exile an Ishtu to crew Phantom Walker. Then is going to crew Breaker of Cities with the Entourage Hunter. So probably, yeah, Phantom Walker. Phantom Walker to block Razorvine. And that kills Razorvine. Breaker of Cities kills the Sapperling. Whoopip Bruiser gets through and deals 2 to Eli. But the next turn, Eli can untap and bullet the Whoopip Bruiser and exile it, and basically 2-for-1 FrogMaker. FrogMaker did tap a black mana, though. Are we going to see a Bogborn Rebirth? No, but we are going to see a Whoopip Decomposition. Sacrificing Whoopip Bruiser. It draws 2 cards. Bokor's Recruitment brings it back. And then... this is crazy. So then can put a +1/+1 counter on Razorvine Abomination, drain Phantom Walker to kill it, and then... Or no, just trade and then drain Breaker of Cities? It depends, because draining Phantom Walker keeps Razorvine alive, but if... okay, so gonna kill Phantom Walker, that keeps Razorvine alive. Breaker of Cities does stick around, though. Eli doesn't take any damage. So that means Eli can untap next turn and just, like, exile something. Probably Razorvine Abomination, because that thing is growing at a very scary quick rate. Main 2, FrogMaker has the Sacrificial Bull. And exiling cards from Matt's graveyard is really good. In fact, it's almost so good that I guess the reason not to do it main 1 is that, like, Zerapath will crew in response. But yeah, like, exiling... Breaker of Cities, or like exiling Nameless Throng or Breaker of Cities from probably Nameless Throng, because both Breaker of Cities and Phantom Walker can be exiled to Nameless Throng, and Nameless Throng is the recursive piece there. Yeah, just exiling your boy Nameless Throng is pretty good. I almost feel like since FrogMaker only has 1 black mana open, or sorry, 1 green mana open, should have just done it on like on his own turn, so that Matt didn't have the chance to untap and maybe recur Nameless Throng. Anyways, Matt crews the Breaker Cities with Entourage Hunter. It goes unblocked, and Matt gets to create a soldier token. Main 2, Eli is going to exile the Razorvine Abomination. And tapping out for something else? Is this Sicknick? No, Curse of Bleeding. Okay, so FrogMaker won't be able to recoup life loss with stuff like Death Pit Talker. It's definitely a blow. Yeah, it's been a back and forth game so far, but I think now it's solidly in Matt's favor. Oh yeah, and on end step that puts FrogMaker down to 10 life. Both of the Enteraki Hunters flip. Yeah, this is so scary for FrogMaker, because I think if Matt does FrogMaker die if Matt taps? Not exactly, but I think close enough. FrogMaker does have 4 cards in hand and 6 mana though. Let's see what he can do with it. So tapping 5 for Woopip Wanderer. This is the card which I think arguably won FrogMaker that first game. Matt can't be happy to see it come out right now. Scale Blights do offer a way to go over this, but then Matt needs to have enough mana to pump both of them, which that's an exorbitant amount of mana which Matt cannot afford to pay. And a Blood Knight Countess. Okay, FrogMaker has kind of bounced back from that, because Blood Knight Countess sacrifice something to block and kill a Scaleblight Cutthroat is pretty good. That has a way to block and kill Breaker of Cities. So Matt, Blackwatch Ace, which is a 3/1 here. My god, because of Breaker of Cities. But it's not going to crew it right now. It's going to instead crew Breaker of Cities with the Soldier, and then going to just swing out with exclusively Breaker of Cities. And FrogMaker can trade Woopip Wanderer with it right now. But I don't think that would be smart, because next turn, yeah, FrogMaker is content to just let Matt take the 3, let Matt create the Soldier. Next turn, FrogMaker just starts germinating at exorbitant rates. And even though Matt has 4 blockers here, is there any way to kill Eli? I think FrogMaker needs to top deck and Arcologize, and then FrogMaker is solidly in a winning state. That's Zulav Rights. Zulav Rights can fetch Arcologize. But searches for Return Bokor? Why? Return Bokor is actually really bad. You can protect Woopip Wanderer for 1 mana, sure, but you can also do that by just Arcologizing Eli. Am I missing something? I guess what it is that it's repeatable protection for Woopip Wanderer, and when Woopip Wanderer enters the battlefield, it'll keep creating petals. I guess that's the thought. Oh, actually, what? Oh, that's an interaction, actually. Just keep sacking. Oh, this goes infinite. Oh, this goes infinite, because it creates 2 petals each time. Oh my god, what an interaction. And, this would kill if FrogMaker had Death Pit Talker. So yeah, FrogMaker gets infinite mana, or infinite petals, and then Blood Knight Countess. Ooh, and then can cast Acidic Slime, nuke, and then just nuke Matt's board. Or all lands, the bullet, and the Breaker Cities. Wow, you know what? I was wrong. I completely was wrong about this. What a play. And infinite 1/1s from Woopip Bruiser. Or actually, oh yeah, that just goes infinite, because with Woopip Bruiser just germinates infinitely. Oh yeah, and Woopip Wanderer. Oh my god, what a combo! Oh, that's so cool. They don't have haste, but then oh my god, but then can Inspirit return Bokor onto Woopip Bruiser and then kill Matt's board. Oh, so FrogMaker just wins on the spot. Oh, that's so insane. It depends if FrogMaker sees a line, though. But yeah. So yeah, that's game. So good games to both players, but FrogMaker takes a 2-0 over Matt. Wow, that was crazy. I know I usually just sign off at this point, but I think it's really cool to see like what combos are still in the format that haven't been explored yet, because that was something I don't think I've seen anyone ever do. I mean, there's been similar things with Witch of Shifting Waters and like some other cards, but this is the first I've seen with Return Bokor in this type of shell. But anyways, excited to see more of what people brew. This is Caillou, signing off.